Soul's Conquest. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Soul's Conquest. Today I'm going to talk about burnout. Now, as all of you know, I'm a Burnout Soul Coach and I do speak about burnout a lot outside of this podcast. I didn't want this podcast to be something that was purely burnout because that's what my Instagram channel is and I'm extremely passionate about it. But I wanted this podcast to kind of explore different avenues as well, around a lot of the other things that I'm passionate about, and hence the soul's conquest, which, the theme of which keeps changing. But, but because burnout is my passion and because I'm constantly learning new things about it, I was like, why not include just one episode and just one story that I, this metaphor is something that I use all the time with my clients. And this is what it is. Now, for those of you who are new to burnout, burnout is, you must have probably felt this at a previous point of time in your life without realizing that you are going through a burnout. Maybe the intensity was much, much milder for you to not have realized it, or if you have gone through it, you know what I'm talking about. So, this is the analogy that I want to share with you before I explain a bit more about burnout. Imagine this: you are sitting inside a truck. It's a huge truck, right? And you are traveling a very long distance. Suddenly you notice your engine kind of sputtering, and you're like, your vehicle kind of jerk, but then you're like, "Ugh, what is it?" You get down, you look at your engine and it's heating up, and you're like, okay, I don't have any water, I don't have anything. Okay, I'm not a mechanic, so if this is wrong, please reach out to me and let me know. But what I'm trying to explain is this: if you are like, you know what, the mechanic shop or the garage is just a mile away or just a couple of kilometers away. Okay, like a kilometer anyone can walk, but like, let me just push this for just a little bit till we reach there. And you keep pushing it and the engine keeps heating up and heating up and heating up. What will eventually happen is it will overheat and your truck will stop working, your vehicle will stop working. Instead, if you were to just let it rest for a while so that it can cool down on its own. Again, I'm not a mechanic. If this is a wrong way to kind of deal with the overheating of engines, please let me know. But if you let it cool down, it will work much better, right? And that is what I want to share with you guys about burnout. When you are going through burnout, people are usually feeling extremely anxious to finish the work that they have to do before they can take rest. And so they keep working through that overheated engine. And in terms of engine, what I mean is our brain. You keep pushing your brain to finish this, finish this, finish this, and then we can rest, finish this, and then we can rest. But what you're not understanding is the brain needs to cool down, because if it doesn't, it will keep overheating until it stops working. And once it stops, if you're lucky, it will take you maybe a couple of hours to a day to get better. If you're really, really unlucky, and if you have been pushing your brain for a long period of time, right? Like, if the stress factor behind you having to push your brain constantly, no matter what, without rest, this has been happening for a pretty long duration, you'll end up being burnt out for like a month to 6 months to an year. I said an year. I'm not kidding. It has happened. There are people who go through so much worse, but uh, the worst experience ever when it comes to burnout, because I was working. Unfortunately, every company that I've worked in has been a toxic place for me. Unfortunately, it has been a really, really good source material for what I'm doing right now, because I know that toxic work environments can bleed into any situation, right? Unless we are consciously aware of what we are doing. And we are getting off topic here, but when you're going through a burnout, rest is a very cliched option, but it is a very necessary option. You have to rest your brain, you have to let it cool down, you have to try doing other things, you or not do anything at all, just calm down, quiet down, and let it rest. Because if you don't, it is going to overheat and you are going to face one of the worst burnouts and worst situations of your life. And when I say burnout, let me explain this. Burnout usually shows up as three things: excessive exhaustion. You are exhausted to the point of no return. You're constantly blaming yourself. There is this um, factor, right, where you just dehumanize, you separate yourself from the source, and you just detach yourself and do things kind of like as a robot. You don't put any emotions into it, you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. The third thing is you start to become extremely, extremely angry with yourself. You get depressed, you get angry, you start to hate yourself, you start to criticize others. And all these three things together makes your life a living hell. And not only in terms of your workplace. Let this resonate with you. Overcoming burnout is not only important for you to work efficiently and create better results, it is also important for you to live a good life. Because believe you me, it is such a struggle. I'll give you a personal example. I love to write. I write down my emotions, I have conversations around myself with things that is surrounding me, and I love to write down those conversations and those thoughts. When I was burnt out, I looked at my computer, I looked at my mobile, and the thought of writing made me hate myself, because I was like, this is not for me. I am not writing ever again. And this is such a bad thing. Like, I'm such a bad writer, and life sucks, and I'm exhausted, and I don't know anything. And I was going crazy. And I didn't even know why until a month later when I realized I am not able to express myself the best way I know how, because I have started to hate writing so much that I don't even want to express my emotions and my thoughts. And it was just, God, it was so, so, so crazy. And I will share more about my burnout journey on the YouTube channel, Mitwa. But for now, I just wanted to stop here. There are a lot of aspects around burnout. There are a lot of different situations that trigger different reasons for burnout. Burnout is never same for everyone. I can keep going on about this, but I invite you seriously to reach out to me if you have ever gone through a burnout, or if you are going through a burnout right now. Reach out to me and we'll work together. We'll figure something out. We will create the best possible situation for you to navigate, overcome, and prevent it. You don't have to suffer through this any longer. You seriously don't. Get yourself the help you need. And you know, when we get on that call, we'll figure out if we are a good match for each other. You know, if you are a good match for me and I'm a good match for you. If not, there are many, many ways for us to help each other, for me to help you, for you to help yourself. Take that decision right now, whether you need that help right now or not, because getting that help is so, so, so important. And we are bleeding into another topic for the podcast, so I'm going to stop here. The moral of this story is to let your engine rest, let your brain rest, let it cool down, and stop pushing through it. Otherwise, it will overheat and make you stop functioning, and you don't want to get there. I hope that this resonates. Reach out to me on Instagram. The link is in the bio. Reach out to me. Seriously, we'll book a call. We'll do all kinds of things. There are so many resources available on my Instagram, and we will figure something out. I want to help you. Seriously, reach out to me right now. Hope this resonates. See you soon. Bye.